Well, I just want to leave you with this. This is a quote that you said in one of your interviews. You said, at one point in my life, I didn't even know who I was, what my purpose was. I didn't want to live anymore. With hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, I didn't give a shit about life. Who I am today is a complete flip the script opposite of that. And just super grateful, man, for my family, for my kids. And that's the meaning of life, man. The true meaning of life.
100%. We can go around as a young person in this globe and see life in a different way. And then you know what happens is, I shook this whole globe up, you know, like a snow globe. I shook it up. And you think reality is what you see in front of you, and then the snow globe kind of settles a little bit, and then you find out that none of it was real. It was all artificial. It's all just entertainment world. It's all on how people view you, even you, in this pop culture stories from Madonna to the, it's all just entertainment. But it's amazing that I've lived in all this and survived it all. And at this point of my life, that's the greatest accomplishment, is the children, the kids. And okay, so the snow globe sooner or later will settle. And that's when you realize that, okay, that was a wild ride. I'll have a lot of stories to tell, which is what we're here for, which is what you're here for. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I'm kind of boring now. I don't really have all those stories now. I collect cars and I do construction. But to get to this point and to be successful, I mean, there's some interesting things about my life and how I am now and stuff like that, which have nothing to do with all these great front porch stories. But it's two different people. And you find your purpose, you find out who you are. And I didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? Like, I know Justin Bieber could definitely use some advice. Lost. Because with all the success, nobody that, especially with what happened to me, 10 times even bigger than Bieber, because, or anybody, because of being me and white and who I am. And at the time, it was something far more impactful, if that makes any sense, for people to hate on or take a punch at or anything, right? So it was a groundbreaking thing that really was, and probably could have killed me in many, many ways. Not just the Suge Knight way but suicidal way, to the point where all my dreams that I thought were dreams turned out to be nightmares. And I figured out the biggest value and purpose in life is that it has nothing to do with money or buying all these things. These are all tax write-offs. They look cool to the person from the outside looking and dreaming of owning big things. You got to have something to shoot for, otherwise you don't have any purpose or meaning to wake up in the morning to go work, right? And you got to support your children. But the truth is, none of it will bring you anything in life or happiness unless you have people to share it with, friends and family. And it boils down to the same person that barely can rub two nickels together. If they've got family and friends, they're very wealthy. One of the greatest things that Bob Marley ever said, one of the interviews that hit me to heart about Bob Marley, was he said that they asked him, he said, are you wealthy and riches?
I remember that interview,
And he goes, how you mean wealthy? What is your definition of wealthy? Wealthy in finance? Does not matter to me. It never has. I never have any desire to buy anything or do anything. He didn't even know about tax write-offs. So for him, he didn't care at all. Never did about the money. It just didn't make any. They lived differently, you know, in his way of life, and all of his wives and all of his children and everything, the way of Jah. And the Rastafarian way, you know. It's something to really look at and learn from. Maybe not follow, but take some of the pieces out of it and learn that the part about their love is deeper in a religion than most other religions. And that's the part I love about it. So it kind of helped me focus on my religion, which is love. I believe love is, and even his son, Ziggy Marley, wrote a song, said, "Love is my religion." It's the name of the song.
Yeah, I know the song.
And he did that because as he was dying on his deathbed, Bob, he went to some hallucinate German doctor. It didn't work. He had cancer in the toe, and they said you should amputate it, and he didn't want to do that.
Right.
And from playing soccer from a toenail injury or something really so stupid, but it would have saved his life. And he went finally at the last part of his life after it spread through his lymph nodes and everything, and he said he thought Jah was going to save him. He said, "There's no way I'll die. He thought of himself as a speaker of Jah, almost a religion person that he was appointed by Jah to be this person, and he was given his success. He thought all this. He really believed it. And if you listen to the words in his music, and I've listened to it over and over to really understand it, he did believe it to the very end. And he took Ziggy at the end, and Ziggy wrote about this, and he said, "It's all a lie. Jah's not real.
Wow.
To Ziggy, his own son, he goes, I want you to know. And he was very skinny and frail, and he goes,
Yeah.
no religion is real. And he said, and this is what he told his son, and you know what he goes, you know what's real? Only love. You don't have to die to figure it out. You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess if there's a red guy with a pitchfork. You don't have to guess if Moses was real. You don't have to guess if Allah is real and the meteorite that hit at Mecca, you touch it, out of the billion meteorites on the planet, Allah said that's the one sent by God. You don't have to, none of this matters until they die to find out if that's real or not, right? So you need to understand, this is what I learned from this, right? That if you know that if there's any doubt in your brain at all that you die and that's it, game over, don't worry about it. Worry about that bridge when you cross it. But what you do know that you don't have to doubt or you don't have to have a belief in is that love. Love is real. It's here while you're alive and conscious. And by Bob saying that, I go, geez, man, I never really put love on that big of a pedestal, but I guess it's true because if you really think about it, why are we really here as people? As we wake up every day, we go to work, we get a few things, whatever, as people, right? But love, man, isn't it what we're all kind of searching for in the real sense?
Yeah.
Without it, Frank Sinatra said, you're nobody. And it's true, man. And to have it is the luckiest, greatest thing in the world. Don't take it for granted. But if you have children, the love you have for them, you don't have to die to find out if it's real. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, live for that. So he comes out with his first big hit, Ziggy Marley, and it's called Love Is My Religion.
Yeah.
One of the greatest songs for words. He took on his dad's fairy dust and created another story to say, you know what, Dad? He had a big influence on his son. And that's why I listen to Ziggy too, because it reflects Bob. All of his kids, Damien, all of them, man, they got something to say from what they've learned from Dad.
Yeah.
Some words to music are very well needed out there, and I feel like Bob's are probably the most needed, and a lot of people never understand it, but out of every artist that ever walked this planet, that ever sang a song, no one in this ever, not Michael Jackson, not Elvis, not anybody has ever related to more people than Bob Marley because of the words. And it's all because of the words.
I agree.
Three little birds.
Yeah. That's what it is. Vanilla Ice, man, always a pleasure when
Don't
we get
worry
together. Always a
about a
pleasure.
thing.
Let's go check out your car collection. We got some new cars in the building this
Wanna
time.
go check out some toys?
Let's do it.
My man.